welcome back to another episode of Critical Affection, where we affectionately criticize the pop culture that we love. I'm joined today by my co-hosts Brian and Amanda, and apparently this cat, who's just going to be here all the time now, and just slowly draw blood for me until I die. Joining us as our special guest today is Ben Lacy, who is the creator of Shark of War and other stuff too. I know you do other stuff. I just cannot remember the name of the other stuff right now. So, introduce yourself. Tell us what you're doing right now.
Hi, I'm Ben Lacy. I am as Sarah said, the creator of Shark of War, which is currently on its 9th issue, which is now on Kickstarter, but you can get all the back issues. I also have done other comic books, Samson, The Vicious Vixens of Dakawanga, and The Cthulhu Man, among others. Also all available as part of this Kickstarter. There
we go.
So Shark of War is Jaws meets Robocop. Jaws is the shark or the hero. Robocop is the cop or a shark. He's an escaped U.S. military experiment on the loose in the Caribbean, enforcing the law as he sees fit. Unfortunately for him, the bad guys have gotten tired of him, and they've hired somebody to make even bigger and more dangerous creatures to take him down.
Nice. So
and you can read issue 1 for free just by clicking on the link.
Y'all, you can go and read issue 1 for free. Who doesn't want a free comic?
And there's no sign up or anything. It'll take you right to the comic. You don't have to do anything.
That's always nice. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get the wanting to get people on your mailing list, but if I just want to know what the comic is like first, I'll still end up on your mailing list when I back the Kickstarter.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping. I want people to back, and if they back, then maybe then I can ask them to be on the mailing list.
Yeah, okay, this is a fun guy right here.
This is the mega whale of war. They first sent killer whales after him, and when they failed, they mutated one into a Godzilla-like creature, and that is the focus of this story, which kind of concludes the current story arc. But again, all the back issues are available.
Perfect, good to know. See, I didn't back yet because I know I have some, but not all, and I have to go see what I got so that I don't end up with duplicates, because
the
I
add-ons
don't have enough money for that.
Yeah, the add-ons let you pick whatever you want. I have every back issue as a single add-on too. So if you have the first so many issues and you want to catch up, you can.
Excellent.
And if you're brand new, I have some really good deals where I'm basically giving my back issues at Comic-Con pricing. So as long as you back the main issue, there's a tier where all the other issues are what I would charge at Comic-Con, but you get the digital copies and the bonus print, bonus comic as well.
I haven't seen Jade Needs a Hug in a while. Glad to see you here. So yeah, okay, I love the art on here.
Yeah, that is a homage to a Marvel Monsters cover that you'll see later down.
Very cool. I know you always do a Jaws.
A
Jaws homage too, right?
Yeah. So this is the base cover, which, like I mentioned, is a homage to a Marvel Monsters cover, which is in the next image.
Nice.
Classic.
I want to see. I've got I'm handicapped by the cat. I want to back it up a little here so that I can see it. Nope, it's not gonna let me do it. Never mind. To see the whole picture at once, God forbid, right? So anyway, let's just carry on.
Yeah, so this is the cover I do. I used to do the art for Shark of War. The first 5 issues I did the art for myself, but since then I've brought on other artists to do the artwork for me. Harshstroke is the artist for the last 2 issues and this current 9th issue.
Cool.
And this is the one of the bonus cover he did, which again is inspired by a Fantastic Four #1 cover.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yes, there we go. That's fun.
And of course,
Oh,
I
you
have
got
my
a
plushie.
plushie!
Yeah,
I didn't know
nice
you
looking
had a
one.
plushie.
yeah, I have a plushie.
Well, I don't even know if we should try anymore when we got Carissa out there making the plushies of everything,
oh,
right?
yeah, I've seen her stuff. She's
She's got so much merch.
got.
So, okay, yeah. Let me here there we go. So it's sow.bitingcomics.com if you want to go check that out. And that'll take you right there. And I'm gonna put the link into the comments as soon as I get my arm back. And so what we're talking about tonight is Robocop. Jade Needs a Hug says, how much Robocop are we going to be talking about today? I hope I'm not going to be quizzed on the animated series.
Half the
or
quiz
TV
is going to be about
spin-offs.
Alpha Commando, definitely.
Well, no, luckily we're just talking about the very first movie. At least
watched
I
Alpha
hope
Commando
that's
for
what,
nothing.
because that's the only one I watched, was the very first one. I had never actually watched the whole thing all the way
wow.
through. I've been alive the entire time that thing has existed. I'm old. I think I must be older than I look.
I'll date myself. I saw it in theaters when it first came out.
Yeah,
I think I would have been too young to see that.
Yeah, I don't. And judging by a couple of the scenes in that movie, it was probably best that I did not see it until I was older, but I know I've seen chunks of it on, network TV and stuff growing up, but I never actually sat and watched the whole thing all the way through.
Same.
And there's a lot. I went digging and fell down a small rabbit hole. Jeffrey sent me a link about how much censorship this movie ran into, some censorship issues. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna turn this off for now. So Ben selected Robocop specifically because if you like Robocop, you're probably gonna like Shark of War. So if you like Robocop, just go back and go read the first issue. It's sow.bitingcomics.com. Go read the first issue, and then you'll know if you want to back, and then do it anyway. Just support indie comics, you guys. But anyway, they went through a lot of censorship troubles. They wanted to get their. Apparently, NC-17 wasn't a thing when RoboCop originally came out, and so it was rated X. And we all, when we hear that it was rated X, what do we think about? We think of porn, right? I mean, that's what I think about.
Yeah, I don't remember it being rated X, but I remember it being pretty gruesome, and there's also nudity and a lot of language.
There's but it's actually the nudity. I don't mind it. Like, I have a problem when the nudity gets thrown in there to be like they were partying. Like, I didn't mind it for the most part because it was just incidental nudity. It wasn't there to try to turn anybody on.
Right.
Which is, I hate when they shoehorn in a naked woman or something to try to get you. It's like, hey, you can watch my movie because there's boobs in it. No, that's not what that's. It's very quick flashes of stuff, and unfortunately, it is only women. So I mean, we can't say that
There
it
was
did.
Guy Butt in the beginning.
Was there?
Cops
There
were
was
showering.
Guy Butt. Yeah,
There's
there was
Guy
Guy Butt. So, I mean, no full frontal, but I don't know. I don't know what our barometer for sexism versus equality is here.
Well,
to be
it
fair,
had the co-ed police locker room. I thought that was an interesting look at speculation
That was
on
a
a
great
future.
use of the tasteful nudity where,
Yes.
if you're co-ed and it's not a big deal, then you would just casually change and it's not super highlighted, but obviously very noticeable and startling to the audience.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I feel like, well, I can't decide. Was it was 1987,
Yep.
and
right.
so was it more or less jarring for nudity to be just thrown in your face in 1987? Because
The nudity, not so much.
things
I
are
mean,
weird.
there was probably more nudity in movies then. I think Porky's came out, Revenge of the Nerds, all those kind of classic, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, all those kind of classic 80s films, had some level of nudity, and and a lot of it was a little more gratuitous than what's in RoboCop. If you go.
Yeah. I thought that one, because like when I think Amanda, you catch it more so than I do, but like I'm always looking for, is this sexist? And it didn't feel that sexist. So
It had a couple of great moments for it, and there's like You can see throughout the movie that women aren't really characters so much as props mostly.
Well, I mean, especially the I buy that for $1 guy. I don't remember what his name was. He's horrible. And then there's like the people who love him that are, obviously don't. But like for the nudity itself, it seemed more incidental than most instances that we catch. So that wasn't so bad. Yeah, like the co-ed locker room was a great example. Jade Needs a Hug says, I watched all the movies, regrettably even 3 and the remake. The first one is an absolutely fascinating film for me. I adore it, although I'm not an expert by any means. I don't know if anybody is an expert on Robocop, right? Overall,
the fans are out there.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's been, it keeps coming back, so I think it has a fairly enduring fandom.
I did not realize how big of a franchise it was.
Oh yeah,
right? Yeah.
RoboCop to get the pronunciation of the director, and I was like, wait, okay, there's 3. I buy that. Oh, there's wow, there's that too. Oh, it just kept going. It was a huge list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they tried a number. Unfortunately, the second movie was really, in my opinion, was really bad. And I'd been looking forward to it because Frank Miller wrote it. And I figured, oh, come on, he's coming off Dark Knight. He's the best comic book writer around right now. It's going to be great. And it was not.
Boo.
And I think that hurt it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like a thing now. It's like I've noticed there's a lot of script writers out there. They're like they've written something good, so you're like, yes, they're going to be the script writer for this other movie that I want, and then they just let you down.
It's just a terrible cash grab.
Yeah,
it was
which is
disappointing.
disappointing.
But
but the first movie, I liked it more than I thought I would. I thought it was going to be a lot more macho and blow shit up, and just I thought I went in with expectations and I was surprised.
It's really a dark satire with a very good action elements is what it is, and I think in that way is what made it unique, and I think a lot of it's been influential, I think, on other things, even if it hasn't. The follow-ups for it haven't been that great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, what's your overall opening thoughts here, Brian? Like, did you like it? Did you hate it? General openers.
I expected it to have a lot more of the 80s racism and sexism, and it had plenty of that.
Yes.
But less than I expected.
Yes, agreed. Less than I expected as well. Homophobia was absolutely there, though. The homophobia was
and almost all of it was said by the bad guys.
Yes.
And I think that was intentional.
Yes.
Then again, we can count the good guys on one hand, so.
That's, yes, also true.
Statistically, maybe just that's how the chips fell. Amanda, what did you think? First impression.
Yes, Amanda. I'm just like, he's looking, and I see him looking, and I'm like, I don't see anything. There's ghosts. That's what it is.
Ghosts will do it.
Yep.
I had seen it back in the day, so it was more of a relook, and it was not to the point as bad as I remembered. Not quite as sexist, etc. I liked that they really well placed the stop animation and made it work in the movie rather than it just being like it was always advancing the plot. It was never there just as a gimmick, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did that really well. I think that the in terms of the overall arching, the character was really kind of done wrong. He should have had, like, they were just like, oh, you woke up, you're a robot now, your family's gone. He remembers his family, and there is no like, now I need therapy, or oh God, put me out of my misery. Instead, it's just like, okay, I'm a cop now, forever, like this, in this robot form. And it's just, it kind of, they were exploring the space of like human and technology and how it's integrated, and like there's a whole lot of concern around how humans and technology are going to like coexist. And so this was taking a very interesting look at it, but I think it horribly neglected the human part when they were doing that as a result, because it just definitely they just were flatlining him as having no emotion and just kind of, but sort of remembered but didn't. And it didn't quite land it in that way for me.
That was my biggest criticism too. Was like the character development wasn't quite there as much as I had hoped. But I mean, the fact that they blow up a ton of stuff at the end scene kind of, it's like, well, okay, I'm not entertained. This is entertaining, but I missed the character development of the main character, and like also Lewis didn't actually really get to know Murphy very well, so it's weird that she just recognized him right off the bat because he twirled his gun.
That's why they had to give him a signature move. They hadn't even been partners like a full day. So they had to give a way for her to be able to tell.
So like this is very clearly like this is an action movie. We're not meant to care that much, I guess, about the character development. But it would have been nice if it was there.
I'm going to disagree a little, if I may.
Yes.
I thought that was actually a touching and a kind of a commentary on. I thought that was part of the dark satires. This person has been basically made a property of the corporation, and he's brain damaged. His body and brain have both been affected, and he is going to do what he's supposed to do, but he still has deep down some ethical and some of his core beliefs in them, and they start to come out later on in the movie, and we see that as he starts to fight back against the corporate villain who's trying to use him and destroy him then.
Yeah. Jade says, I think the second movie really suffers from Frank's stereotypical comic book writing. So it sounds like Jade maybe agrees with you about the second movie kind of being a dud.
Yeah, the second movie, I agree kind of with his point. Frank Miller occasionally, and you see it in Dark Knight Returns, he had this theory about psychiatry and psychologists,
Sure.
and some of that pops up. He parodies it in The Dark Knight Returns, and it works pretty well there. But then he kind of goes to that well for RoboCop 2, and it doesn't work at all.
Yeah. I definitely liked I noticed. So we watched the director's cut, and we were looking for the comparisons of the director's cut and the theatrical cut, and they watered down a lot of that satire and a lot of that dark comedy. The scene where they shoot up Murphy and he somehow doesn't quite die.
Right.
Extremely graphic.
Oh,
That is number one reason why nobody under the age of like 16 should watch this movie. You are not emotionally prepared for that. That was very graphic. But there was, why did I go into this movie thinking Ed 209 was going to be the main antagonist? That is the most ridiculous piece of junk robot that just happens to be able to kill people that I've ever seen in my life.
It's so cute. You just want to squish his little cheek.
He is a cute robot, but also like he can't handle stairs, and then he literally squealed like a pig when he fell over on the stairs.
Yeah, they already established that the people building the robot were like, this was influenced by corporate. So they went through like 20 iterations of what they wanted. They gave conflicting instructions, and the designers were just making the best they could out of the next.
I would have loved
rolling
to have been a
downhill
fly on
onto
the
them
wall
without
in
it.
that meeting.
Right? And I mean, he even
All the
makes
engineers
it clear.
are like, okay, so treads are the most stable. It can handle uneven terrain. And then the manager's like, give it 2 fucking legs and 2 fucking gun arms. Woo!
And
It's the 80s.
The baddie, the main corporate baddie in there, he literally says, "Who cares if it works?" Like he literally says those words. I think, did he say those to RoboCop?
No, he said that to the.
He said it to the guy that he killed, the other corporate guy.
His competitor. I think he kind of said, "Who cares if it works?"
Yeah.
Why
and
did
the other guy
actually catch on?
Okay, so
shipper game.
So Jade is saying,
Jade says,
I think the character development is intentionally undercut to show off how corrupt OCP has made the world. The world has been desensitized to violence, including Murphy.
Yeah,
and I will slightly disagree. I think that it's less about the corporation desensitizing for the things and more about the patriarchy, and men are supposed to be emotionally repressed and not supposed to have like a whole lot of. There's a big trope for all of those movies where like the macho man has the gun and he shoots up and he gets shot, but he keeps going because he has something to live for, and like it's very plugged into that.
Oh
And
man, that just made me think we should do First Blood on this show sometime. Cause that's why that's not such a great idea, right? Like the repression thing. Anyway, yeah, I think I see both points. I do.
yeah, I mean, it also can be both, but there's just...
Yeah, and then like blending it together with what Ben said, it makes sense to me. It makes sense in my head. I don't know if it makes sense out here, but I know you guys are all out here, so.
I mean, I think you see it. I think it's most effectively seen in the scene where he goes into his old house and they start playing the sales video for the house, and at the same time it's overlapping with his own memories.
Yeah, and he's having a little like PTSD something happens there.
I think you're starting to see that. So I thought it was very well done. But
I as somebody who's had to put a house on the market before, I feel like that was just this is nitpicking here, but like clean the house before you put it on the market, right? Like they just left all the rotten food and dead plants all over the place. Yeah. And like some of the rooms looked like they'd taken the furniture, but then some of the furniture had sheets thrown over them. It's like
near future, maybe real estate standards have changed.
Well, I'm thinking maybe the family's in trauma over his death, and they just kind of left, and then the realtor they just told the realtor, put it on the market and get rid of it.
Jade says that we see in advertisements robotic implants and nuclear war is just a part of daily news, so Murphy going through his arc is contrasted with how few people notice that he's messed up. Also fair. And Jade also says, definitely agree, Amanda. I think there's also an element of how OCP views cops as expendable, which is very true. Yeah, that was absolutely like they were punching you in the face with that one.
Right, and and it was terrifying how many things were being shown as extreme in that movie that are currently happening today.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
That was kind of icky.
A little prophetic.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That
movie is almost 40 years old, and we should not be we should be beyond that, right?
One would hope.
No, we're just catching up to the bad parts.
Counterpointing for the emotional arc is also the fact that Lewis is the one, as a female, who is supposed to be saying, "Oh, you know who you are," and being like the emotional channel, which is a job that emotional responsibility is put on women characters all the time. That is fair,
yeah.
So it kind of ties in there. Mm-hmm. Like he's only allowed to have rage and smash something, and then he's done, and then he's basically happy robot again.
Yeah,
I'm also trying to think of like a 1980s male cop being like, "Oh, so I'm hanging out with this Robocop. Let's see you shoot some guns." I don't think there would be any personal exploration.
Yeah, no, his partner had to be a woman, didn't it? Because of the dynamics, like it had to be a woman.
But they also immediately put her in her place. Like she beat up the guy, pulled off the thing. Oh, it's a girl, and he's immediately like, "I drive," and takes the keys and has to be the macho jerk.
It's like you don't live here, man.
And make sure that everyone knew that the normal male female dynamic, he's still in charge.
Yeah, that one did irritate me a lot because he's like he just moved to that precinct. He doesn't know where he's going.
Right.
And he's like, "I drive when I'm breaking in a new partner." And it's like, "No, dude, you're the new partner. What are you doing?" And just like I guess in when we compare it to some of the other movies that we've already done on the show, it's not as bad as some of them, and so I'm like looking at it going, this is downright progressive in some ways. But some of the movies that we did were super sexist though, so
for sure.
Yeah.
So props on your choice, Ben.
Yes. And I enjoyed the amount of action. I think that the dark comedy, like the first. Okay, I know this makes me sound like a horrible person, and I just don't care anymore. When Ed 209 glitches and just murders the shit out of that guy right in the boardroom, I laughed when they said, "Can somebody call an ambulance?" Like, he was barely still in one piece, and somebody call an ambulance? Like, it's okay, you've got time. He's definitely not going anywhere.
That worked on a lot of levels. It was horrifying. It was funny, and the Ed 209 looked really cool there.
Also, the Ed 209 did not miss a single shot.
Nope.
did not break any of the glass behind it, and he
Right.
killed a corporate shill.
And
Like,
the special effects
Deadpool
hold
9's
up
doing
pretty
great.
well when you consider how old it is.
That part,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like as long as you don't have make him walk upstairs or downstairs. I guess we don't know if he can walk upstairs,
And then,
but
and then
as
have-
long as he doesn't have to. Like, I can see
I'm not a
something like that
roboticist.
being a really lethal war machine, because I imagine he could take on rough terrain, just not that like stairs are deceptively complicated. So like I can see that being a thing that would have been like that probably pisses off
He's
or
an
used to
open-
piss off
open-
roboticists.
He's an open area kind of combat thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Open.
Like, how
terrain.
is that going to go into a shop and stop someone trying to rob a
Yeah,
shoot
he's
him
shop?
gonna
from
have to
outside.
demolish the shop to get in there, right?
Right?
I mean, RoboCop was clearly the more practical choice. I don't know why, dude. I can't remember the main baddie's name, but I don't know why he had such a problem with it. Just because it wasn't his idea. That's literally he killed so many people because he didn't have the best idea. What a douche.
Well, I think part of it was he was wanted to take over when the old guy died, who was the chairman of the board, and I think he was worried
Yeah.
the other guy would look good now and get the position or something like that.
I
But-
have to assume that there's some contract stuff in there, or like just the one flop of a product doesn't necessarily damn you for life, does it? Or is that how the corporate world works? I don't
It
know.
can work that way. If you're supposed to be the moneymaker and your thing flops, you will then get like shunted to the side, and unless you get a comeback and like recover, you get benched, and you
Yeah.
will no longer progress up the ladder. Which is
I
why
mean-
people get real weird and backstabby sometimes. They just
That's
took that
fair.
to the more extreme level, and that is one thing I thought was not great, is that they had the head of the company be all sweet and innocent
Yeah.
and had no
Yeah, 'cause
idea all this is
absolutely
happening.
not how
Like,
that
oh
is.
yeah, no.
That was probably the most unrealistic part of the whole damn movie, and they had a literal cyborg in the movie.
Uh-huh.
But like, but that's the thing. Ed 209 was not a failure. It just was a failure for the purpose that he was trying. They were like doing. It's a terrible design for urban law enforcement because of the aforementioned reasons.
Well, it also
But-
glitched, and they let it have real ammo in the.
Yeah, why was that a thing? Like that?
That was actually
crazy.
the least realistic part. I thought was that he was armed up with
No
real
e-stop.
ammo for the demo in the boardroom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
sure, have
Jade
real ammo.
says, "I wish Lewis had more character development," and same. And I mean, judging from the fact that Jade has watched all this stuff and has said this, and judging from the fact that Ben has mentioned nothing about it, even though we've referenced it a few times, I'm guessing that Lewis doesn't get any more character development in the next several movies, and I'm guessing that Lewis probably gets fridged at some point. So.
No, well, I never saw the third one. The second one I remember not liking it, but I don't remember her having. I remember it started playing around with the psychiatry stuff with him, and trying to make more RoboCops and
Okay.
stuff like that.
I don't have a
I don't
problem
remember
with
what
them.
happened with Lewis in that.
Yeah.
If anything, I
Yeah.
think the TV series might have had more with her, because then you have time for to do more stuff. But
Okay.
I only watched a few episodes of the TV series. They didn't do a lot with special effects then, and it wasn't. It was a syndicated TV series, so it's kind of like a low budget kind of thing.
Sure.
I really got vibes at the end when when she was hurt, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry, they'll fix you." That they were aiming to like make her the Eve RoboCop to his Adam RoboCop.
Yeah, that's what
and
I
was
thought.
like, I don't know if I like that. I'd heard that the third movie allowed for like more character development, but I don't know anything. Cannot confirm.
Hmm.
Jade might know.
Yeah, Jade says, I like the movie sort of functions as a comic book superhero adaptation despite not being an adaptation. It shares structural similarity with like Superman movies. Yeah, it does. It does. I can see that.
A little bit of Judge Dredd in there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Big old gun killing the baddies.
I also liked how well they did the world building. Like they brought in a lot of the different elements to kind of try to make it a near future realistic, like showing the commercial with the artificial hearts and the nuclear war still being big on everyone's mind. It was really big back then, so it was going to play well with the audience. They did not predict how little people really thought about it in the future. And I really did like the scene with the when they get him into the ER and are trying to save him, because they were, it sounded really good, like they were doing it well. And then they got to the terrible scene where they're like, "Oh no, his heart stopped, quick, shock his heart."
Shock a flatline.
Yeah, shock the flatline. That is a movie trope. You don't do that. That's not a thing.
Yeah, it has
And
to.
it's a bad
That's not to restart the heart, right? That's
not to restart
that's
the
to
heart.
stabilize the rhythm.
It's to
or something,
stabilize the
yeah.
rhythm. There has to be electrical current there.
I
If you
watched
just
Dr.
shock a
Mike,
heart
that's
that's
why I know
flatlined,
that.
You fry it. You actually burn the heart.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
not cool. I looked it up because I was curious, because they sounded like the dialogue was going so well there. They had actually hired an ER team who
Oh,
was doing that scene, and that's why
Nice.
it
Like, take
sounded so
note.
natural and flowed so well for them. But they did have the sketch that they did have actual dialogue as well, but they ad-libbed a lot. And I'm like, I know exactly where they ad-libbed and didn't, because
Yeah.
Flatline was involved, and that was definitely scripted.
yeah, yeah. Jade just said just now, the commercials are probably the most interesting part of the movie, and not wrong. They were ridiculous, and I think like they opened the movie with them, and I was like, is this gonna tell the story through a series of commercials? Because that's interesting. But it does just give you a kind of an idea of the tone of the whole world, and I think it was the most realistic near future version of Detroit. Not for the obvious reasons of Detroit kind of being a garbage place now. It's not all garbage. I'm not
It's
knocking
picked up quite a
Detroit.
bit. I was there a few years ago, and I think they've made some inroads there on.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not like it's Detroit's fault. It's not Detroit's fault that Detroit kind of sucks. It's not their fault.
Yeah, speaking of the world building that you brought up, you know, the not only the commercials, but there was this fake Benny Hill like TV show they kept showing clips of
I
that
had
the bad guys really love. And when I mentioned the Robocop, you know, I compare my comic book to Robocop. There's always somebody who'll go, "I'll buy that for $1," you know, because that was the big line. And you know, and they kind of worked it in like a catchphrase that you would have, you know, we would have now, or people had back then, to kind of give you a grounding for this is a place where people have, you know, live life like we live, where they have, you know, silly commercials and TV shows and these catchphrases that catch on even though they're kind of dumb.
And the most iconic line, that to me anyway, from that movie was one that was only said once, whereas they repeated I'd buy that for $1 several times. And there was at least one other they really tried to make a catchphrase, but your move, creep, to me was the most iconic line that I've heard over and over.
This movie actually contains a lot of one-liners that I have heard multiple times, and I had no idea where "I'll buy that for $1" was the one that I was like, oh, so that's where it comes from.
It was also like, "I'm not arresting you anymore," where he's decided he's going to just kill the one guy and not take him in because he's so mad at him.
I mean, to be fair, he had a reason to kill him before too. So.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, they set him up as a cop, but then they made him actually Judge Dredd and executioner, and that's not what the purpose was supposed to be for. So it's kind of interesting. Exactly.
Was that
how
like
much
that was
violence.
the human? That was the Murphy breaking through Robocop?
I think a little bit, yeah.
He was because the reason that he decided to kill him was because he remembered that the bad guy was the one. What was his name? Clarence.
Yeah.
Was the one who.
Yeah, there's so many good bad
him.
guys in this movie. I was kind of impressed by how well, and not they weren't all on the same side either. Even the henchmen were cool bad guys. They had neat bad guys for the henchmen. They weren't just generic goons.
Yeah, particularly right before the gruesome execution scene, like that was really funny. What they were joking around, goofing off, and being stupid. It was like that was kind of funny. There was a. Did you see? So I'm trying to think. I was like, oh, did they make all the minorities bad guys? But they did not. There was a guy in the boardroom, an African American guy in the boardroom, and the perverse joy that guy had when RoboCop executed the main baddie. I was like, why are you so happy about this, bro?
Well, wasn't he friends with the other bad, RoboCop's corporate creator, who was also a bad guy, the one who got killed by Clarence? Wasn't he friends with him? My memory is that they were kind of friendly. So I think that might have been why he was
Yeah,
happy.
maybe. I mean, it kind of seems like everybody thought that main bad guy was an asshole, and like nobody liked him except the top guy, the CEO. So like maybe everybody, but like why did they zoom in on that guy? They put a lot of airtime on his face of delight.
Also,
I
the
was
thumbs up.
surprised. Yes. I was
the
surprised. Like that was just a lot, and I mean, I don't think it had anything to do with his race. I think it just was like, why? Why was that? It was probably more of that dark humor stuff, and maybe it got cut. Maybe that part got cut too, like why that guy took so much joy in the death that he was witnessing. After that's the second boardroom death that these people have witnessed too, in the space of what, maybe months at the most. It's not been very long.
Right. And I mean, it sort of draws a parallel to the whole dog eat dog jungle world of the CEO / business people that are out to get each other. But in theory, they're not. But
yeah,
it's just
that's
business until it's not.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite part about this movie? Let's start with Ben. What's your favorite part about this whole movie?
I thought the movie was really good from beginning to end. So I was, but you know, obviously the climactic battle at the end where he, you know, he's we've seen him be on top, and then they capture him. They're about to capture him. They're blowing him away. He has to climb. He trundles under these. It takes place in this garage, and he has to trundle under from level to level to try and escape. You know, the both the cops coming after him and the corporate people coming after him, and you know, and then he gets rescued, and then he has to deal with the bad guy in a, you know, almost a Western kind of format now, is where he's taking on the bad guys who now have the high-tech weaponry they need to take him down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool.
And then they still manage to throw in some humor with, you know, even all it's serious, you know, we get to see the one guy wind up turning into a goo person when he drives into the vat of chemicals.
And I like how the vat was just labeled toxic waste, because that's specific. That's certainly specific enough.
I don't know if they intended it, but it made me think of another movie, which actually has a
Toxic
remake
Avenger?
out right now. Yeah, the Toxic Avenger.
Totally.
And the interesting thing is that movie's got a remake out right now with Peter Dinklage.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. Amanda, what's your favorite part of the movie?
Probably that Lewis was there and a female presence that was not immediately the love interest and was shown as to be able to hold their own. It at least brought some into play, because there were only 6 women in this movie and 5 of them were throwaways. And then Lewis was at least there representing to some extent and being shown as competent. They didn't immediately go into like she's so weak. She was a competent partner who, you know, was trying her best to help and was relied on by her partner. So that was good.
So, okay, I'm trying to think of the 6 women.
The 2
the wife,
models / prostitutes, the wife that we only see in flashbacks, the potential rape victim who like sobbingly throws herself onto Robocop, and then Lewis. Okay,
so they're not very charactery, but like the grandma in the mom and pop store, they literally call her the shop mom, the shop grandma, and the shop pop in the credits. And then also there was a lady in the boardroom, if you can believe it.
Right, but like no dialogue and no real interactions.
Yeah, she didn't matter. I will smack the shit out of you. He is chewing on my cords.
No.
Bad kitty.
Bad kitty.
No, stop it.
That's toy.
History's worst
toy.
monster.
Toy.
There we go. So, Brian, what's your favorite part?
I think it's kind of a tie between, it wasn't just pure propaganda. Like, for something with cop in the title, like, you expect them to be like, oh, yes, and Detroit's finest, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, yeah, these Detroit cops were told to kill a fellow officer and then blew the shit out of him in a parking garage, execution style. They're like, yeah, fuck cops. Cops are terrible.
And they shot at Lewis,
I don't agree with that, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They shot Lewis,
and then
yeah.
the robotic design was fun.
Yeah.
It was believable when he took his helmet off. The scene between his actual face and the makeup was beautifully done.
That's what I was gonna say is my favorite scene, like that because how the hell did they do that? It had like I thought it was a prosthetic face, and that was like, like that was a fake face, but it was like, no, it can't be, because now
emotive.
he's acting that. Yeah, he's acting there, and I don't think that we can do that very well with CGI right now. So there's no way they did that in 1987.
Oh yeah, no.
But it was a very good makeup.
Yeah, they did a lot of makeup and a lot of older special effects that weren't like CGI wasn't really a thing. So
yeah, and
they could overlay a green grid or text. That's about CGI.
That was fun,
then.
right?
Mm-hmm.
The Ed 209 stop motion was fun too. Like
I love that robot design.
Stop motion.
Like, I'm not a roboticist, but that design was awesome.
Yeah,
and it inverted ankles and stuff. Very cool.
Just the one fatal flaw, just the one. If only stairs.
The fatal flaw in the bad programming.
My favorite part is Murphy wandering through his old house, realizing he has his entire life taken from. Yeah, like that was where like you could see.
I love
you could
that
see like when he in fury or trauma or fear or whatever he destroys the TV, and I was like, they're almost showing PTSD there. It's not the best. Again, I referenced First Blood once already, but like that's the best 80s depiction of PTSD, I think. But Robocop would not have escaped unscathed emotionally. So, and they mind wiped him, but no, you can't do that. Humans aren't computers. That's not how it works.
And that's part of the theme, is that the human spirit is indomitable and will overcome the technology and be able to remember.
And that corporations are bad. Like 1987, corporations are bad, y'all.
It was definitely a bit of a like commentary on the Reagan business push.
Yep. Yeah, it's Sir. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. Yeah, there's a lot of this that is like we're seeing it today in the news, in the political climate and whatnot. So it's very interesting to watch these movies that are 30, 40, 50 years old and see some of the same themes coming up over and over again. And we're not fixing them for shit, y'all. We're not fixing them.
Oh, they use this as a template, apparently.
Ugh, yeah, no kidding. I mean, at least we don't have malfunctioning robots that will shoot you even though you complied with it. So
wait until Boston Dynamics puts more guns on spots.
That sounds fun. Yeah. So that and yeah, that was my favorite part of the movie was the scene where he takes the helmet off. The prosthetics that they did for the execution, for Murphy's execution scene. Calling it execution scene, even though he technically didn't die completely, or did he? They called him brain dead, but like he was executed, and
he died from those wounds.
Yeah, he
didn't die until he got to the hospital.
Yeah, because they had to shock the flatline.
Yeah, I think.
Remember, Brian?
Well, yeah, but those wounds caused him to flatline. They didn't.
Yeah,
he didn't get to the hospital, and they're like, "Well, what if we drive a stake through his heart?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were. He wasn't going to survive. He wasn't going to survive.
The cause there.
Yeah. But yeah, like that. They did use prosthetics for much of that, and they did pretty well considering. Like that looked like a realistic face right up until Red shot him.
Dumbass.
Kurtwood Smith is a great actor, isn't he?
Honestly,
I didn't know he was in this movie either, so he was great.
I was expecting to see some Red in there, and nope. Totally unique character.
So, all right. So yeah, let's I guess we'll start our closing thoughts here. Like, so what? Actually, Ben, I would like to know, like, can you give us like a little quick compare and contrast between RoboCop and Shark of War? Because like, what parts of Shark of War are like RoboCop?
Well, I mean, the obvious part is that they found a badly injured shark and they hauled him off to a lab and experimented on him to make him into a basically an aquatic soldier for them. They loaded him up with a bunch of directives, which actually is in RoboCop too, where he has a hidden directive. He can't arrest an OCP officer or he starts to shut down. He has a number of similar directives, that he has to obey commands and do things like that. And actually, that conflict comes into play later on in issue 6 when he doesn't want to obey a command, and the artificial intelligence he's been merged with electroshocks him to try and make him obey.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Cool.
So there's definitely similarities to it. I mean that in terms of the underlying idea. Of course, it is taking place in a more of a present day, more of a superhero universe than RoboCop was in.
Yeah, RoboCop is set in 2029.
His
Oh God, that's
it,
yikes! I didn't really realize that. Wow. Oh no.
I'd look it up.
Oh,
Yours
no.
isn't quite so gritty.
Yeah, how gritty compared to. Oh no. Yikes.
his mad scientist enemies creating more, similar, creatures to try and take him down. So there's a lot more of a battle going on between, that's more of a hard superhero kind of battle.
Is one of them an octopus?
There's a giant squid at one point, but she starts experimenting on people and basically makes one a half man, half octopus that they discover in her lab when they have to break into it. He's actually a victim and he's trying to escape. And the woman you see getting killed is actually one of the lab workers who is doing the experiments. She's also a backer who paid to be in the book and to be killed in that manner, by the way.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, how cool is that? How fun is that when somebody pays that cameo tier and then is like, please kill me in the book?
Oh, that is she is my best backer, and she really likes to get killed in she's been killed in a couple of different comic books, always
Amazing.
in a similar
So
manner.
cool.
She wants to be in a sexy dress, and she wants to have her shoes fly off when it happens, and you'll see in that picture there that her high heels fly off when the swordfish spears her.
Amazing.
Instead of a serial
That's
killer,
so
she's
cool.
a serial victim.
So I was trying to pull up the quiz and it is not working.
It's majorly bored.
This is like we finally got to the point where we're just not doing a quiz tonight because
Even look at
it
like,
is
no,
completely
you can't
broken.
even host anymore.
I'm not really sure what to. I get. You know what? Like, so
Just
I've
ask us the
got-
questions and we'll raise our hands.
I didn't write them. I didn't write. I was so good. You can go into the folder and like you see the little spreadsheet that I made, and I was doing so good. And then like the last 3 quizzes aren't even on there because I was just making it right in Book It.
Yeah. That's how I did it.
Well, that's all right.
I can sympathize.
Did
But you know what?
Make
It
a
was
sticker?
probably gonna break anyway. But we do have a sticker, and this is the sticker.
Look at that.
And yeah, it's not perfect. We were kind of talking a little bit about some of the issues with it this earlier. Like his little arm holding the gun there. It's not quite right, and I might fix it. I don't know. He's pretty cute the way he is.
Thank you for your sympathy, Jade.
But you know what? I'm just gonna be. I'm just like, if y'all want a sticker, go to. Let's see. What social media should we make you guys jump hoops for? You can, you know what? We're gonna be easy. We'll just go. If you go to my Facebook or Instagram, it's at Definite Article Creative. Let me put a little thingy up here for it. And just if you message me and say, hey, can I have a sticker? I'll send you a sticker. Now, obviously, this is only good for like a week, cause I'm not like if you are watching this 3 years after it's aired, I'm not sending you a sticker. But like for the week of September 15th. 2025, if you send me a message on facebook.com / at Definite Article Creative, or if you can go to Instagram too, same thing, Definite Article Creative, and say, hey, I want a sticker. I will just mail you a sticker. Okay.
We should definitely send one to Jade. All
Yes,
that good
Jade,
information
you
and lore. Yes.
Absolutely. Let me figure out what the hell I'm doing here, because I'm gonna put.
I think Sarah froze. Did Sarah freeze for you guys?
Yes, I was just
Yeah.
debating
Okay.
whether it was everybody and then you moved. So hooray!
Well, she's busy setting up the socials, so I assume she'll be back in a moment. $10 Sarah's going to be obligated every September 15th. She's going to have to send out a dozen stickers.
That's why
As
she
people
said
rewatch
a
and be
year.
like, "Yeah,
But yes.
you got to specify."
Well, it's not just that, but there's always that one person who is like, well, maybe it couldn't hurt to ask. 10 years later.
I think I figured out
Welcome
why
back.
nothing's working.
Was it your machine?
The internet! The internet is bad.
Yes, that would do
We'll
it.
agree.
I was like, I started to pull up Facebook so that I could just copy and paste the link that I wanted, and then nothing worked, and I was like, oh, okay, so that's what's going on. All right. It's maybe fine now. I don't know. It's too late. We're not doing the quiz now. I can't handle
okay.
anything else.
No.
We've all
Instead,
agreed
we
that
just tell
once
people
per
they need to-
year on the week of September 15th, you're just going to have to send out stickers to everyone who asks.
You know what? That would be
Because you didn't
fine.
specify a year.
Yes, you
Didn't
did.
I thought I said
You did.
2025.
Oh, smart.
Anyway, there it is. So yeah, go to that page right there and send me a private message and say, hey, I want a sticker. And Jade, you should definitely send me a message. Because like the only prerequisite here is I need to know that you want a sticker, because you have to tell me your address so that I can send you a sticker, obviously. And then also sow.bitingcomics.com. Go look at that campaign, because that's like a really cool campaign, first of all. But Ben's got the whole first issue up there you can read. And if you like Robocop, you're probably going to like Shark of War. Actually, may I hazard a guess? Maybe it's an unpopular opinion. No, it's a popular opinion. I already know. Shark of War is probably better than Robocop. You're going to like Shark of War more. Also, like, because the sequels don't suck, for one. I mean, I can't speak to experience here, but the people who have watched them are not saying good things about the sequels for RoboCop. So, I mean, so the extra issues, the other issues of Shark of War are going to be better, almost certainly. I can't imagine somebody who would think that RoboCop 2 is like a masterpiece. I don't know. Like, it's an 80s sequel. There's no way it's that good. Like, the only 80s sequels that were any good were...
Terminator 2. Wait, that was 90s.
Was it? I was gonna say Lethal Weapon. Like, they were fun, but they were formulaic. They weren't that special. But
Die Hard.
But they were fun. Ooh, yes! Damn it, you got me. Die Hard was pretty good.
Wait, number 2?
Technically, Die Hard 2 is okay, but Die Hard 3 I think might be a 90s.
Oh, Die Hard 3. I like that. I like 3 better than 1.
Oh yeah, Die Hard 3 is the Die Hardiest Die Hard, and it's like 3, 1, 2, and the rest of them don't even count. They don't count. They don't count. Like, I tried to watch one of those. Live Free or Die Hard. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
I was reading
Would
about.
you cast?
I was reading about Peter Weller yesterday, and apparently he's kind of a dick in real life. Has
Oh.
anybody else heard that?
Gross.
Yeah, I was like,
Don't
he's
know.
kind of a. Apparently, he traumatized Corey Haim when Corey Haim was 13 years old. So, that sucks. Yeah. He's a method actor though, so he said that he traumatized him because he didn't want Corey to talk to him, because he didn't want to break character while they were filming. I was like, well, maybe somebody
That
should have
doesn't
told.
make him less of an ass.
Yeah, no, somebody should have told Corey that, and also, he was like 12, maybe 13 years old at the time. Use your brain, man. So,
Yeah.
But that one was like corroborated. Like, he apparently grabbed Corey by the collar, and then yelled at him never to talk to him. So, like, that was a dick move, regardless of whether or not other people think he's a dick. That was a dick thing to do,
Correct.
which is unfortunate.
Yeah. Traumatizing children for the sake of your art? No.
Yeah.
No.
An actor who I've heard didn't do that is on the set of It, like the guy who played Pennywise in the newest one.
Yeah.
He can be creepy as fuck. Like he was so well cast.
Skarsgård, right? It was a Skarsgård.
That eye thing he does, he can do that. That
yeah,
creepy
apparently
little
he
smile,
freaked
he
the shit out of Bill
that.
Hader with that. There's a picture
he
out there.
He refused to be on the set in costume while they were children because he didn't want to traumatize them. Like he knew he could be creepy. He was hired to be creepy, and he wouldn't do that. Like, respect.
Jade's got a whole list of 80s movies with good sequels. Which Back to the Future,
Back to the Future's one movie.
That basically, isn't it? It's one movie with 3 parts.
Yeah.
Good though, good movie with 3 parts.
Technically that is correct. Back to the Future 2 is a different movie.
Star Trek movies.
Star Trek movies are
Only
good.
the odds.
Raiders.
Raiders.
There we go.
There's got to be more out there, and we're just not,
Oh yeah, no, there's tons. If we wanted to
if you
Google,
guys-
we'd come up with a bajillion.
Yeah, if you want to debate me, you got to catch me off guard because I will research this shit and I will write a whole essay. If you want to debate me,
February
I
should
will
be
win
sequels
unless you
month.
give me no notice. What'd you say?
February month 2 could be sequels month.
Oh, there you go. Now we got a theme for February.
Not RoboCop though.
Oh yeah, apparently Robocop.
Just
is
Back to the
garbage.
Future
Yeah,
2, Terminator 2.
I like RoboCop, and I'm disappointed to hear that the sequels are trash because I thought we didn't really resolve anything with that family stuff. So I would like to know what goes on there. Maybe it's resolved, maybe it's not. I don't know.
Not
but
really.
Oh,
Not a
bummer.
good way.
Maybe it should be only sequels. So you can't have movies 3, 4, and 5. There were 2 movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we should workshop this a little bit. I think we got something here. What do you think, Ben?
I don't
Only
know.
sequels.
Don't come back and talk about RoboCop 2. That won't be your case.
So,
But Terminator 2, he's not
Yeah.
a cyborg.
I guess are we done? Ben, do you wanna add anything else about what's going on, like what's coming up for you? Before we go?
Nothing much else right now. Trying to get this funded, and then it's on to Vicious Vixens 2. Sorry, Vicious Vixens 4 and Samson number 2 should be out back from the printer hopefully soon. So that'll
nice.
come out, and then I'll be going on to Samson number 3.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of got a cycle going.
Very cool.
I think Vicious Vixens was the one that I didn't. I wanted to back it, but I didn't have any money at the time, and so I was like, "Well, I'll get you the next time." That's how everybody that I'm trying to back, I'm like, I'll catch you the next time. I'm just wishful thinking, like maybe I'll have money if the next campaign rolls around,
Well, Vicious Fictions 5, if you use Roman numerals, going to be VVV.
I hadn't thought about that.
So okay, yeah, and like, I would do my little shameless self promo too, because it's my show and I can do what I want, right? Go back, Noctiluca. I'm over a third of the way there, and tomorrow we'll make tomorrow at 1:00 in the afternoon Central Time is officially the 7th, the 1 week mark. So it'd be really cool if I could be halfway there, but I'm not gonna hold my breath.
How are you finding backer kit?
I'm not seeing my Kickstarter backers come to BackerKit.
Yeah, that's what scares me about it is that your backers have to sign up for a new platform and
Yeah,
they're
that's
not going to want to mess with it.
a lot of them don't realize that they already have a BackerKit account because a lot of us use BackerKit to fulfill Kickstarter accounts.
Yeah.
So if you want to back something on BackerKit, but you think that you don't have an account, go check anyway because you might actually have an account. But yeah, like I'm getting a bunch of new people, which is really cool.
Oh,
but all the people who I normally see show up in my backers, they're not doing that. And to be fair, I can't. This isn't really a great. It's not really a great experiment to see who will cross the Kickstarter BackerKit barrier for me because this is a brand new book and it had a false start last year, and so it's fraught with a little bit of controversy, I guess. So yeah, so like there's it's not a pure sample. I don't want to suggest that that's the only reason why, because like people aren't going to come over to a new service for a brand new book, and they're not wrong if they're like, well, she's probably going to put it on Kickstarter anyway. I was like, you're not wrong. I'm considering that as an option depending on what happens at the end of the backer kit thing. I might. But like backer kit has a lot of good parts too. Like it's really easy and I just kicked a cat. Whoops. Really easy and intuitive to build the campaign, and it has a community tab that you can interact with your backers in a way that Kickstarter just doesn't have. That there's just
Sorry,
no.
needs to get on that.
Yeah, it's actually quite fun. I mean, Brian and I were doing that last year with the Granica campaign. Like it was really quite fun to interact with everybody, and you can't really do that accepting comments on Kickstarter. So
Yeah, we had a whole discussion going of what should we do, and folks suggested that we eat terrible food, and we did.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
is
true.
that why we ate terrible food?
We did
think
do that,
so.
yeah. Space food.
Yes.
Yeah, food of the
It
future.
was fun. Oh no. I still have the bottle of that garbage. What was that stuff called? Soylent or something?
Oh, Soylent.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you
I
get
washed out
coffee?
the bottle and I kept it because I'm like, I'm gonna build something out of this bish.
There you go.
So,
So is it considered gauche to have both Kickstarter and backer kit going simultaneously? Since in theory there might be different audiences?
I
and
feel
then-
like either BackerKit or Kickstarter's gonna get pissy with you about that because they already get pissy with you if you try to replicate a campaign exactly. Like
I think it's against Kickstarter's rules, but I'm not positive of that.
Yeah. Like if you just
Really?
change one thing about it, like say if you did not offer a T-shirt on your backer kit campaign and you do offer a T-shirt on your Kickstarter campaign, that makes it different enough for them.
So
Yeah, 'cause
don't
it's-
put on a big banner, Kickstarter failed us, let's try over here.
Yeah, I would say don't do it because backer kit failed. Do it because you want to offer it to the people who don't want to cross over to backer kit.
Right.
I want my Kickstarter people to be able to back and support me because obviously I want that. I want everybody to read just like Ben, you same thing, right? You want people to read your comics, and they unfortunately, if I could give them away, I would do that, but I can't. So we got to make it as available as possible. So that's like the biggest reason, the number one reason why I would go back to Kickstarter and try to repeat this campaign there.
Very
That's
nice.
it. But if it fails, it fails. What am I gonna do about it if it fails anyway? I'll have
Try
a
again.
good cry. Okay, here's the thing, you guys. Don't let my campaign fail for me because it's ending on my birthday, okay?
Oh, that's so sad.
Don't make it fail on my birthday.
No.
I know, that was such an unfortunate little... Like, I would never have anything end on my birthday. Because what if it fails? That's gonna be the worst birthday ever. Oh, anyway. What are we doing next week? Oh, yeah, we're gonna talk about Firefly and
Yeah, we
Serenity
are.
next week. Yeah, I feel like Amanda's gonna crush all of our dreams.
Very much.
It has Alan Tudyk.
You
I
can't
cannot
take the
dissuaded.
sky from me! So,
You like
yeah.
that? Yeah.
We're gonna do that, and then Gerald Von Stoddard's coming over. We're gonna talk about Sunshine. We're gonna talk about Immortal Coil, and he actually is giving away a piece of his original watercolor. So don't miss that because everybody. If I would probably just give everybody a sticker if you play the quiz, assuming it freaking works. I did just try and refresh it, and it's not loading for me at all.
We've got to
so.
find a new one.
Yeah, we do. It just, I don't know what to do.
Hey Ben, do you know any good online quizzes? Online quiz
No.
services?
No, I've never even
Bull
thought
crap.
about it before.
Bull crap.
That's fair.
That's, I'm trying to make the quiz our hook here. Like, people should come to play the quiz, and now it's not even working. Maybe we need to make our own from scratch. There's no way that could go wrong, right?
Correct.
Ooh, not it.
Excuse me. Okay, so yeah, that's fun. Let's end this show before another thing goes wrong. All right. Y'all
What could
have.
possibly go wrong?
Thanks for joining us, Jade.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, Jade, thank you for coming, and thank
Thanks,
you, Ben,
Ben.
for coming,
you.
and
Ben.
thank you for telling us about your new book. I am
sure.
excited to read it.
Sounds awesome.
Yes, it does, actually. It sounds like exceptionally awesome. Like a shark with guns. Come on, you guys. What could be bad about that? That's
Either of those
amazing.
separate is great, and you've combined them.
Right?
Also, cyborgs. Love
Yeah.
to see a protagonist cyborg.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
reasons.
That's what we're talking about. So, okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Come back next week. Do the thing. I might pop on here and stream a little bit for Noctiluca in the week. I don't know. Ben Fisher is my partner, my collab partner this time around, so we're going to try and schedule something. So, we'll see. I'll let you know, And thanks, and have a good night. So, bye.
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 Bye.